Welcome back to Losing It 2025. My name's Ken. I want to talk to you for a minute or two about the idea of weighing yourself every day and whether or not it's a good idea. I started this weight loss journey at the beginning of the year at 335 pounds, and I've lost a total of about 55 pounds so far, which is great. But this morning I stepped on the scale and I noticed that there was a bit of an increase. My weight had shot up several pounds in just a couple of days, and it was kind of frustrating. And it made me wonder, should I really be weighing myself every day? Because sometimes when you step on the scale and that number is inexplicably higher than you expected it to be, it can be a bit demoralizing. And so I began to ask myself the question, what are some of the pros and cons of weighing every day? And so as I began to think about it, here are some things that we came up with. Tracking your progress more accurately is usually a very good thing. Daily weigh-ins give you a clearer picture of what your weight is doing at any given moment and how it's trending over time. It can help you see whether it's going up consistently or down consistently, and it can help you make timely adjustments to your diet and exercise routine. It provides accountability, and for some people, stepping on the scale is just the encouragement and accountability they need in order to keep them focused and moving in the right direction. For me, when I step on the scale and I see something like this, my response is to immediately think back and say, okay, well, what did I do differently here as opposed to what I did here, right? What did I do at the time preceding the top of that curve as opposed to the valley in that graph? Well, for me, in this particular instance, I can point to a couple of things. Number one, I usually have coffee and tea at work throughout the day. I drink coffee and tea on a regular basis, and something you may know about coffee and tea is that they are diuretics, which means that when you drink coffee and tea, it tends to help you eliminate water a little more quickly. And I had actually run out of coffee pods and I had run out of tea bags. And so I wasn't drinking as much coffee or tea in the couple of days prior to that weigh-in. Was that the reason? Was it simply more water weight that I had accumulated? Maybe, I don't know for sure, but it does make me wonder about that. And so I'm drinking more coffee and tea now. But I wasn't for a couple of days, and that might have made a difference. Another thing that might have made a difference is I had a craving for something sweet, and I yielded to that temptation. I had a little bit of chocolate and peanut butter, and that caused me to be a little bit over in my caloric intake. So could it be that bump in weight was the result of me cheating momentarily on my diet? Maybe it was. And so that provides that level of accountability. And it reminds me that the decisions I make regarding the foods that I eat have a direct and immediate result sometimes on the scale. That having been said, there are some things that are not so pleasant about weighing every day. One is that there can be an emotional impact. Daily fluctuations in weight, especially if they're not in the direction that you want them to be, they can be discouraging. And if you're too emotionally tied to the number on the scale, it can lead to frustration, to demotivation. It can cause you to throw your hands up and say, why do I even try if you're not getting the results that you want to see on a regular basis? Now, for me, that used to happen, but I've gotten to the point now where I recognize that the number on the scale is just data. It's just information to help me reflect and assess on my progress. And so I don't really have that negative emotional impact, and yet it bothered me enough that I'm making a video about it. So maybe it does affect me more than I realize. Another thing about weighing daily is that it doesn't reflect your long-term progress in that given snapshot, right? But if you look at it in the bigger picture, it actually does help. For instance, check this out. Now, as you can see, when I look at my weight loss, rather than on a single day, but rather over the period of 3 months, that sudden rise suddenly doesn't look so big. And I can see that the long-term trend is in the positive direction, helping me to stay focused and maintain my motivation. Now, that having been said, for some people, weighing every day is a source of stress and anxiety. For some people, seeing that unexpected weight gain can create that negative emotional and mental state that can actually lead to discouragement and can stimulate or trigger binge eating or some other obsessive behavior. So if you know yourself and you say, hey, you know what? Getting that regular feedback isn't really helpful for me, maybe weighing weekly instead of daily would be a better approach for you. Because honestly, stepping on the scale doesn't measure your health fully. It doesn't reflect your full body composition changes like losing fat or gaining muscle. For instance, you might lose 3 pounds of fat, but within that same period of time, gain muscle and see a rise in the number on the scale rather than a reduction. So that number alone is not a sufficient evaluation of your progress or the impact that your diet and exercise are having. So what's the end result? What's the final verdict in the whole thing? Ultimately, it's a personal decision that you have to make for yourself. Statistically speaking, weighing every day does seem to promote weight loss. And for me, it has been an invaluable tool in helping me move forward on my weight loss journey. How about you? Do you weigh every day? Do you weigh once a week? Do you avoid the scale at all costs? What do you do in order to track your progress and hold yourself accountable? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'd love to encourage you on your weight loss journey. Thanks for taking the time to stop by and visit this short little video today. Please like, subscribe, and do all the things if you are of a mind to. I definitely appreciate your support and encouragement. Have a blessed day.